Gotta make me feel better. Trying to get you out my bed, but I still can't get you in my head. Ooh, I'm seeing you. One takes a good time. I know you by your phone, so boy pick up your line. I ain't too proud to beg, so what's been said has been said. And I need you to know you don't know what love is. And I need you to know you don't know. Hey, you don't know what love is. If you don't put up a fight, you don't know what love is. If you don't stay up all night crying, you don't know what love is. If you too good to fall a million times and you say you know what love is, but I swear you never seen it in your life. Ooh.
So my bride-to-be chose 3 different flavors for her guests at her wedding. She chose vanilla bean, red velvet with cream cheese icing, and Biscoff cookie butter. And as soon as I got done with all 200 cupcakes, it was time to work on the wedding cake. So I'm just stacking the wedding cake together just so I can get a good visual of how this is going to look once I cover it with fondant and start decorating it with the floral. So I like to kind of just put the dummies together just to make sure everything is looking how it should. So we're going to put the bride and we're going to have our groom. And so the client opted for a carriage as the topper, and I will fill it with some floral. Okay, so here is the cake assembled with just the styrofoam. I have not added any type of fondant decor. So this is just how it looks. Again, I like to do this just to make sure everything is going to look good. The height is good. So these dummies are 5 inches in height. So for the wedding cake, this is going to be the bottoms here. This is a 12-inch cake dummy. So in order for the bride and the groom to have their cake cutting ceremony and pictures, when using a dummy cake, I like to cut a section of styrofoam out of this dummy cake, put that to the side, throw it out. We're gonna cover that inside up with fondant so it can be food safe, and then we're going to insert a piece of cake, and once we're done with that, we're going to cover the whole thing in fondant, and then we'll just make sure we mark a place on that spot so the bride and the groom know where to cut it when they are ready for their cake cutting pictures. So I'm using my X-Acto knife just to score where I want to cut out my piece of styrofoam. So I like to use a butane torch on a sharp knife. It just helps cut the styrofoam and it goes through very, very smoothly. Okay. Check it out to see how it looks. And that came out pretty good. Now I'm adding my fondant into the inside of the cake so we can make this dummy cake food safe. So now that I have smoothed out the buttercream and made it flush with the dummy cake, this is ready to be covered in fondant. So I am going to go and panel that. So here is the end result once I panel this dummy cake. And I just use my stitching tool to make 2 indentations on the cake so the bride and the groom can know where to cut the cake. So it is in between these 2 stitch lines. So something very subtle, but also something visible so that they can know where to cut the cake. And I will also let the wedding planner know as well. So after covering all 4 tiers with fondant, it was time to work on my couple's heart cake. So I provide a personal 5-inch heart cake to my couples for their wedding. Now, they don't have to consume this at the wedding. Most couples take it home. Some couples will freeze it and keep it until next year for their 1-year anniversary, or some couples will take it on their honeymoon. Either way, this is just a small token of appreciation that I like to provide to my couples. Weddings are so busy, and sometimes couples don't even get a chance to taste their own wedding cake. So I like to just provide something small and personal for them, just to show appreciation and gratitude and best wishes to them. So now that the bottom here is all covered with the texture fondant, and then I added the floral, it is time to assemble this cake, because guess what? Today is the wedding day. So I'm just going to assemble it just to make sure everything is looking good before I box everything up and take it right to the wedding venue. Okay, so I have it all stacked and I'm really liking the way that it looks. I have not added the carriage topper on only because it's so tall, and I will add that on when I get to the venue. But now I'm going to disassemble this cake, box it up, and get ready to go and take it to the wedding venue.
And when we're making love, your cries that can be heard from far and wide. It's only the 2 of us. Everything I need between those thighs. Every time I look into your eyes, I see it. You're all I need. Every time I get a bit inside,